All right, welcome back, everyone. Today I'm doing predicting Week 13 of the NFL season, and to see which teams will win which games. Right, so we'll start off with the AFC. We got the Broncos getting hosted by the Bengals. Bengals obviously without Andy Dalton for the rest of the season, so I'm going to take Denver for that reason. Also, I think Denver will. I actually think they have a good chance to be true contenders for the playoff spot for that sixth seed in the wild card. Do I think it'll happen? Probably not, but you never know. All right, next up, we got what's it called? We have the Buffalo Bills getting hosted by the Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins here. They lost by a field goal to the Colts, who are red hot right now. So if they were playing any other team, like who had like a 5-5 record, they probably would have won. Um, I just think they still have a chance. I think. I mean, I like again. You saw at the beginning of the year. Let's pull it up right now. Dolphins won their first game, their second game, and their third game against Oakland. Like I know they were playing bad teams, but still, man, you win three in a row to start the year. People are going to pay attention, and a lot of people did, but obviously people don't really consider them as true contenders now for the wild card spot because they've lost like what was it, uh, five of their last seven, I believe. Sorry, no, five of their last sorry, no, six of the last eight. I don't know why it took me so long to do that. Six of the last eight to after that three-game winning streak to start the year off. Buffalo, they're not that great. Even though I know they just came off a win against Jacksonville, they're still not that great of a team. Still with a huge quarterback issue for now. I mean, obviously you got the future in Josh Allen for now. Let's see what happens, but I think Miami's gonna win this game. All right, next up we have the Colts getting hosted by the Jaguars. I'm going to take the Colts here. There's absolutely no chance. I mean, there's a chance that the Jaguars can win because they still have that great defense. Except, unfortunately, their defense has not really been performing as the top ranked defense that they were last year. I believe. I think they were last year. The Colts are also on a 5-game winning streak as of right now. They started 1-5 started the year, and I mean, honestly, maybe I would have had them at the top of my mock draft, but obviously, that's not the case right now. I think they go to 7-5. That means that they like as of right now, they would take the second wildcard seed. But we'll see what happens with Baltimore right now. Eventually, when we focus on that matchup against Atlanta. All right, next up we have the real. Like I know it says Sunday Night Football here for the Seattle San Francisco game, but it got flexed to Pittsburgh and the Chargers. This one's in Pittsburgh, so I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I know they came off that tough loss to Denver on the road, and the Chargers destroy the Cardinals, going on a 45 to nothing run after they started the game off 10-0, like the Cardinals did. Also, the fact that Melvin Gordon isn't playing sucks for them for the Chargers, so that's definitely gonna be a huge reason why I'm gonna take the Steelers. Also, the reason why I'm gonna take the Steelers is because last time they played at home on a primetime game was against the Panthers, and they freaking smoked them during Week 10 on Thursday Night Football. They won like 52-21. It was crazy. I mean, they destroyed them. That's why I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. They go to 8-3-1, and the Chargers fall to 8-4. Still good enough to be the fifth seed in the AFC. Right. Next up, we have the Browns getting hosted by the Texans. I'm taking the Texans here. Going to win their ninth straight, I think. I mean, they're just playing really good football. They won last night, 34-17 against the Tennessee Titans. A big win for them. The Browns coming off a huge win against Cincinnati in the division, but I just don't see how they can beat Houston on the road because Houston's been amazing since the loss to the Giants in Week 3. Yeah, I just don't really see a good chance for Cleveland in this game. I think they'll win some games, but not now. I don't think they'll beat these good teams like Houston. So I'm gonna take Houston this one to go to 9-3. Cleveland falls to 4-7-1, and Houston actually claims the second seed in the AFC with that win. So big for them. But obviously, you have to look at the Patriots game eventually. Same thing with the Colts. Well, it might change. You never know. I might make my predictions to change the current playoffs right now, like the 2 seed, 3 seed, 6 seed, that sort of stuff. All right, next up, Kansas City against Oakland. I'm just gonna take Kansas City. They're a much better team than Oakland. Oakland sucks right now. Kansas City is arguably the best team in the NFL. I don't think they are, but I think they're definitely top 3. I'm going to take Kansas City here. Next up, Tennessee and the Jets. Again, pretty easy one. I'm gonna take the Titans on at home at 425. For some reason, they're playing at 405. I should say. For some reason, they are playing at 405. I don't really understand why, but whatever. Um, yeah, we're gonna take Tennessee here. They're just again by far the better team, even though they're still 5-6 right now. But the Jets were just terrible this year. So we're gonna take the Titans here to go to 6-6 on the season. Right. Next up, we have the Falcons. Here's the game I was talking about earlier. The Ravens getting hosted by the Falcons. This is actually gonna be an interesting game. I was thinking of taking the Falcons, but since I'll show you here, they're on a 3-game losing streak. So they lost to New Orleans on Thursday night during Thanksgiving. They lost to who was it? Dallas. That was a huge loss for them, and then they obviously lost to Cleveland at Week 10. So yeah, clearly their season is over, and I think a team who's won 2 in a row and has a lot of momentum in the Ravens will regain that second wildcard seed in the AFC. I'm just going to show you a game in week, I believe, 15. Week 16, a big game. Could come down to the 5th seed. See, like if we take Baltimore here, they move up to the 5th seed, I believe, yeah. So that game could actually be a really big game to see who gets the 5th seed. Obviously, Baltimore still might not even make the playoffs because there's so many teams who are 6-5 or 5-6 who still have a legitimate shot at the playoffs. Yeah, so I think they'll go to 7-5, and the Falcons drop to 4-8. Okay, next up we have the Vikings getting hosted by the Patriots. This is a really tough one to choose. I am going to take New England because they're at home and because they're. I mean, have they lost a game at home this year? I mean, they lost to. Who did they lose to this year? They lost to the. I'm trying to remember. They lost. I know they lost. Hold on, let's see. I forget who they lost. They lost to Tennessee. I know they lost to Tennessee. During week 10, but who else did they lose to? Hold on. Who they play week 9? Green Bay, they won, of course. Week 8, who they play? New England, they beat Buffalo on Monday Night Football. Week 7, they beat Chicago. Week 6, beat Kansas City. Oh yeah, it was Jacksonville and Detroit. So yeah, they haven't lost at home this year. They've only lost on the road. So that's what I take them in this one. They're also still a better team than Minnesota, even though Minnesota definitely pushing for that first wildcard seed, as they are currently 6-4-1. But with the loss, they go to 6-5-1, and that means that the Patriots go to 9-3. It also means that the Patriots regain the second seed in the AFC. Right, next up I have Thursday Night Football in the NFC. This is now the NFC. Thursday Night Football in Dallas. This is 2 days away from us. It's New Orleans against Dallas. I'm going to take New Orleans here because they're by far the better team in this matchup. They're also, I think, the best team in the NFL right now. Who they beat? Oh yeah, they beat the Falcons on Thanksgiving by 14 points, and they beat the Eagles by 41 points. So they've definitely been the best team in the past few weeks in the NFL. I don't think they're gonna stop their 10-game winning streak. Currently, 10-game winning streak. I think they'll move to 11 games. I think they'll definitely win this game, especially with the fact that Tyron Smith and Zach Martin are both questionable for the Cowboys, big offensive linemen. So that means that they'd be losing all 3 of their All-Pro O-linemen. That would definitely suck for them. All right, next matchup. This might be a little bit controversial. It's Tampa Bay and Carolina. This one's in Tampa. I'm going to take the Bucs here, just because I know Carolina's a better team. And I know they started off the year 6-2, but they've lost 3 in a row, and I think all their momentum's gone. I don't think they're going to rebound and make the playoffs. I think Tampa Bay, who had a really good week last week, I understand they played the 49ers. Their defense was sensational, obviously 49ers again, and their offense was finally turnover free this week after it was like 7 weeks in a row with 2+ interceptions for their quarterbacks, which is crazy. I mean, most teams don't even have some teams don't even have 7 interceptions. Like, I don't know, they're like tripling Drew Brees' interception total. It's crazy, like per game. Wait, it doesn't make any sense. Sorry, they have per game. They have I think 2 interceptions per game or something like that. So that's so their per game average is let me restate that. Their per game average is the exact same as Drew Brees' total, who does have 2 interceptions this year. So it's definitely crazy to think, but it's the case. I think Tampa Bay continues to have a little bit of struggles on defense. Actually, a lot of struggles on defense, but I think their offense will sort of like regain its momentum. Do I think they'll make the playoffs? Hell no, definitely not. I just think with the losing streak and the fact that Tampa just that they just beat um, San Francisco pretty handily, I think they're gonna come away with the win. All right, next up, we have Chicago getting hosted by the Giants. I'm going to this game actually on Sunday. I'm gonna take the Bears because Giants are 3-8 right now. They should. I don't know how they lost to the Eagles, who so many injuries. But we lost, obviously. The Bears coming off that win against Detroit on Thanksgiving with Chase Daniel. So they can definitely show that they are. I mean, the thing with the Bears, they're not Super Bowl contenders yet. If they win this game against the Rams next week during Week 14, I think they'll definitely be Super Bowl contenders. And same thing with their defense. I understand people think their defense is really good. They played one top 10 offense, and they let up 38 points against that offense. So, yeah, yeah. So, yeah. So then, I still think they're a really good defense. I just don't think they played elite competition yet thus far this year. All right, next up we have the Lions and the Rams. We're taking the Rams here. I just don't really see how the Lions can win this game. If they're losing to Chase Daniel, I don't really see how they can beat Jared Goff and the Rams. So I'm going to take the Rams. Next up, another pretty easy one, the Green Bay Packers. I think they're going to beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals are by far the worst team in the NFL right now. Lost to the Raiders and just lost by 35 to the Chargers. Next up, this next game's this 3-game stretch of Detroit, Green Bay, and Seattle. Those three matchups are really easy choices, I think, for me. Next up, I think Seattle's going to beat San Francisco at home. I just think they're a much better team than the people thought they'd be at the beginning of the year. Most people had them winning like 5 games. I thought they'd win like 7 games at the beginning of the year. I think right now they probably win 9 to 10 games. They have a really easy schedule, I think, to end the year. They're only playing the Chiefs. It's a really tough game. And then the Vikings at home on Monday Night Football, but I think they can beat the Vikings at home. All right, next up, the Washington Redskins go to Philadelphia to play the Eagles on Monday Night Football. This is by far the most important matchup of the NFC this week. Maybe probably the NFC this week. I think, so Philadelphia wins. They win. All right, let's do this for a second. I think Philadelphia will win because they do have, because the Redskins do have Colt McCoy. I saw a report like a few hours ago that Reuben Foster is joining the Redskins, which kind of sucks for me because I'm a Giants fan and they're playing the Giants twice a year. So that really sucks for me because we'll have him for a while and he's still pretty good. He just definitely gets into a lot of trouble with a lot. And most players actually can't really recover from that. So we'll see, really. We'll see with him. All right, so let's recap now. So we have Denver beating Cincy, Miami beating Buffalo, Indianapolis beating Jacksonville, Pittsburgh beating the Chargers, Texans beating the Browns, Chiefs destroying the Raiders, Titans destroying the Jets, Baltimore beating the Falcons, and New England beating the Vikings. New Orleans beating Dallas, Tampa Bay beating Carolina, Bears beating the Giants, Rams beating the Lions, Packers beating the Cardinals, Seahawks beating the 49ers, and the Eagles beating the Redskins. All right, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. We'll see what happens. We'll update you next week on what happened. My prediction, I think I can definitely win probably like 12 games out of the 15 this week. Oh wait, no, never mind. There's 16 games this week. I forgot. No one's on a bye. I think I can probably win 12 games this week. That's my prediction. I mean, my upset game of teams like who can win as an upset. I think. Let's see which matchup we can choose. Who's like a true upset matchup? I would say Jacksonville's an upset matchup. I don't think they're gonna win though. I think they are definitely. I think the Colts are definitely heavily favored in this game, so I think they are upset. I think they still have a chance. Obviously, that defense can definitely hold off the Colts, but I don't really think any defense right now can hold off the Colts based on how they're playing. Okay, so that's actually what we're going to do for the end of the video. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.